my goodness, oh my joy, you found your way to Sweaty Time Pro Wrestling. And I am one of your hosts, and my name is Sean. Hi, hello. And with me is another host, and his name is James.
Oh, hello, Jonathan. It's episode 30 of not only this podcast, but also Lucha Underground, which means, Sean, time is ticking. We need 9 weeks. I mean, we have 9 weeks. We wish we had more. Wish we needed more. Wish we needed less, actually. We have 9 weeks to make this popular with at least 30 people.
Or else, I have to assume it's something terrible for me. I have to assume you will throw me into the cage with medallions.
No, I'll throw you in the cage with some dogs, baby.
No,
why would you set me up for that?
Because I'm very tired.
I've been up since like 6:30, already worked out, showered, ate, and I've done it all.
Oh man, I still have my cup of coffee over here and getting ready to discuss Lucha Underground episode 1, season 1.
Episode 1, season 1.
We're starting it from the top. This, of course, being a pro wrestling discussion podcast featuring an old head and a newer head talking about Lucha Underground, the phenomenal little promotion television series over on Robert Rodriguez's El Rey Network. If you're new to the show, welcome in.
Old head, that's what I call getting gummed up on my Hummer, yeah.
Getting gummed up on your Hummer. So you're getting a Hummer, and then someone's blowing that person as well. And then it just daisy chains.
No, it's an old person filleting me.
Oh, okay. Gummed up on my Hummer, because I've never heard, we promise we talk about wrestling.
Yeah.
But I've never heard of someone refer to their actual genitalia as their Hummer.
Oh, well.
Like the Hummer is to me, is an act of a blowy.
Well, guess what? My dick is stabbing so fast, or I guess I should say humping so fast, it's like a hummingbird, so I call it a Hummer, okay? It's also vibrating constantly.
And sometimes you drill little holes into your penis and it makes little whistler sounds. While you hump around the neighborhood going woo, woo, woo.
It also acts as one of those, not a dowel rod. What are those things that people find water with?
A dowsing rod?
Yeah, it's a dowsing rod because this dick's gonna find some geysers, okay?
Yeah, and if you're a Mormon, it can also read those little tablets that Joseph Young found.
Yes, dude, I love that man.
I need to not reference Mormonism if the only thing I know about it is the things I've learned from South Park.
Yeah.
That's on me.
Man, we just a quick rundown, a follow-up from last week, then we will get into wrestling.
We promise we talk about wrestling.
Shiny Happy Family, we watched the 3rd episode. It is nuts, guys. You need to watch this and feel bad that millions of people are living in this oppressed community. And like people are, and it sucks because like it's being invited into these homes.
Yeah, and it was normal because that's the show it's following. I swear I just saw an ad for it like recently, or even, I think it was even more than an ad. It was like yo, this show's crazy. What was it? Not John and Kate plus 8. 19 and Counting was the show it was.
They
were based on
The
Duggars. They're like invited into your home, like on TLC, the former Learning Channel. Richard Scarry was on this network, and now the Duggars are. Feels gross.
Oh, yeah. The man Jim Bob used that TV show because it's like, well, how are you going to hide all the wild shit you do in the house? He did, and he used it as a ministry pretty much to promote this way of living to other people through this TV show.
Absolutely, because if I'm doing some like really horrid, evil shit, and then over there is a worm driving around in an apple, I'm gonna hide behind that worm driving around in an apple. It's just so dang distracting.
Was Richard Scarry on TLC?
I think so.
It was on Nick Jr.
I remember it fondly on like early TLC.
Okay.
Back when, like, 'cause TLC was the Learning Channel, right?
Yeah.
I swear they had like some fun edutainment.
Now it's the Learning About MILFs channel.
Yeah. Meanwhile, El Rey Network is having its own The Learning Channel.
Yes.
As Black Lotus learns to never trust Chavo, but I'm ahead of myself.
No, it's never trust a Guerrero.
That's also for true. As we go to Dario Cueto's office, it is night. Chavo is agenting for Black Lotus, but like real badly to Dario Cueto. And Bate tells him everything immediately.
And he's like, hey, so what'd you say? Dario says, what'd you say back to her? And he said, I said yes. And it felt very much like, he said yes, he said yes.
If this is your first episode, a lot's been going on with these characters.
Yeah.
Black Lotus's family was murdered by the brother of Dario Cueto, who is now the owner and manager of Lucha Underground and the Temple. And Chavo came back recently to agreeing to help her figure out her mission. It's been literally one whole episode of Chavo and Black Lotus, and he has already betrayed her.
Mm-hmm.
And after he tells Dario, I said yes to the dress and agree when I said I would help her. But I assure you, a Guerrero's loyalty is to the highest bidder.
Which hopefully Willie Nelson and him don't cross paths, am I right?
Oh, maybe. I don't know the reference.
He gets high all the time. He's the highest bidder.
Oh, yeah, I forgot it. I knew he gets high all the time. I forgot his affinity for auction houses.
Like Snoop Dogg has said, the only person who could ever smoke me out is Willie Nelson.
Mm-hmm.
And that man's like 80 or 90 years old.
Yeah, and the host of Roadhouse Wears, the PBS show. Fuck. What's the name of that show?
I don't know. Antiques Roadshow?
Yup. Taking it again. And the host of Antiques Roadshow say the only man he feared is Willie Nelson because he's such a talented bidder.
You do. Also, they don't bid on that show. Have you never seen Antiques Roadshow? They just
Clearly
say
not.
It just appraises the stuff. You should have said Storage Wars, you piece of shit.
Fuck you. I don't want to reference Storage Wars. I can't imagine any of those are good people outside of the show.
Storage Wars. No, you want to know what? People who bid on that because of Grift Horse with Megan Beth Keister and Howard Kramer, a.k.a. Dragon Boy Suede, they would do things like that of going to a storage unit and buying all of this stuff. That's how we know Paris Hilton is a piece of shit.
From Storage Wars?
No, from people buying off storage locker. Someone bought a storage locker after the fact, found out clearly, oh, this is Paris Hilton's or someone in the family, because there were so many videos of her just saying vile shit and just being like, hey, I'm a party girl. And yeah, it's bad. Look it up, guys.
Wow. Like vile, like hateful, I'm drunk and this should never see the light of day.
Oh, yep. Just constantly using slurs.
Huh. And Nicole Richie was the real one from that show.
Yes, guys. She's so funny. Check her out in Great News.
So Chavo, by the way, we talk about wrestling sometimes. Chavo agrees to the same deal from Dario, round-the-clock protection from Mexico. But what does Chavo really want? I don't know. Maybe a stronger villain laugh on his fade to the desk.
Yes, and Vamp's French mimicry is back because his hands are doing nice stage work. Scene work? That's what I'm looking for.
Yeah. Vampiro demonstrates his double-jointed knuckles for the submission main event match tonight. But first, we have Jack Evans versus Argenis.
Jack Evans, Lucha from the 21st century.
Yep, Jack Evans in the Hybrid 2.0, which is his tag team with Angelico. The neon green, the yellow, the black. Jack reminds us he invented Lucha Libre, which is very useful to me because I forgot.
He did?
Yeah, Jack Evans. Well, he screams it really loud and aggressively in people's faces. So, like, that must be true.
Okay.
He wouldn't be so loud and aggressive if it wasn't. Yeah.
Was he Santo in the, like, many Mystery Science Theater stuff I've seen?
Yes, he has been El Santo for 50, not longer, probably.
Yeah, I mean, it would be like 75 years now.
Yeah, this 20, I think they mentioned he's like 26 here, 27.
Whoa, he's younger than us and living the dream? Where did we fuck up, Sean?
Well, he's been doing it for 70 plus years.
Okay, yeah, you're right.
Yeah. Argenis is also here in, I didn't know what this was.
Me
it's like
either.
A low cape. It's like, no, because it's like a tearaway hakama or like chaps, but like the reverse of chaps in that they mostly cover his groin area. They were very nice. It was like the low sort of cape he wore. Like nothing over at the top, titties out all day, but his legs were covered.
I thought you meant this match being I don't know what it is, because it's weird that this is one. Hey, I enjoy both of these guys, but when Dario comes out and he's like, "Hey guys, you're fighting for a medallion. Why?"
Well, and especially why the way he sets it up. Dario goes out of his way to basically shit on both guys. Say, Argennis, nobody cares about you. Jack Evans, nobody even knows who you are. Why should I care about this match? I'll tell you why. Because I have put a medallion on the line. It's a very interesting thing for Dario to basically have said, I booked this match and I hate it. So I'm going to make it I'm gonna do something. Like it's very interesting.
I actually see that as a good form of manipulation of, oh, you guys are pieces of shit. No one cares for you, but I'll dangle this in front of you. So when you get that in whatever match this will eventually end up to, you are there to prove yourself and going to promote more violence that Dario wants.
Definitely. It's very interesting. Like, for the story, it works, and it also works because the way he does it, he's not really addressing the two guys. Like, he didn't sit them down in his office to be like, you two are a piece of shit. Like, no, he did it in front of a crowd of people to add to that manipulation, to add to that embarrassment, that public humiliation kink he's getting into right now.
It's classic negging.
It's classic negging.
Like, I know you at the smoke shop now are saying like, oh my God, you're so handsome. But I mean, you'd be more handsome if you vaped aggressively more.
I'm not aggressively more. I'm not hitting. No, I would never.
Yes, do it.
I don't want to. I want
You're
to sell
commission.
I'm not.
Oh.
I want to sell my products based on need and customer desire, not some series of backhanded mental manipulation tactics.
Do it.
That's not my scene, Daddy.
That's how tobacco became a leading power.
No, it became a leading power because it was addictive.
Okay, but
and because everyone wanted to get finger blasted by Don Draper.
I guess you could say that. It's addictive, but so is...
Don Draper might finger blast you. I do say that. I do promise Don Draper will finger blast you if you buy my tobacco products.
But so is cocaine, and cocaine wasn't big and whatnot until disco and shit came along. It needed that. You could be the disco of vaping products.
So what you're saying is I need to invent a new form of music.
Or, yeah, that too.
Can it just be ska again?
I guess.
I kind of want to do a fifth wave of ska.
Okay, but it would need to be a slower tempo ska, like stuff that you can puff a room full of vape to.
So I've recently, and this is very true, been working on a series of Elliott Smith covers, but ska.
Okay.
So basically me just covering some of the saddest sad boy heroin addict songs in the history of music, but ska.
Oh, you should do some of Gigi Allen's stuff like that, but in ska.
Is he really a sad boy? Would you call it like Gigi Allen, those sad boy music?
There are some, like In My Room specifically is such a sad boy song, so check that out. Well, I used to always, on the subject of ska, an old employee at Chicago Comics, Nicole and I would make him so angry and frustrated because he would be like, oh yeah, ska's real cool. And I was like, oh my God, I'm just into like proto ska, like the band Chicago. And he's like, that's not ska. And I'm like, it's rock and roll with a brass section. It's ska.
It's not. That makes me so upset.
No, it doesn't. Because it's true.
No, it makes me so upset, not because it's true or not, but because it is such a Jimmy Pardo joke.
Oh, well, this is a McCollum joke.
Yeah, Jimmy's going to be trying to lease that out, and McCollum will say, nay.
No, he pays for jokes.
Oh, okay, then McCollum will say, yay. Much like I say yay once this match gets underway, a ring-a-ding-ding. Jack Evans offers a snake handshake to instead just heat all over him. Jumps him early from the front, cartwheels to avoid a hit, and then just keeps on hitting. I enjoyed this match a lot. I enjoyed Arhennis's creativity a lot.
Yeah.
Arhennis just doing some wild shit here. Arhennis has like Jack in an Irish whip, and he goes to pop up Jack overhead, kind of like you would powerbomb a running opponent trying to leapfrog over you. But instead of catching him, head first in the crotch, Arhennis lets Jack float over him so that he can punt him in the nass on the way down.
And he screams, "My testicle!" And then Vampiro's description is like, dude, if you can say bitch, if you can say shit, you can say testicles as well, or balls, anything. But he describes it as the lower reverse back muscle, the taint.
Specifically, you may rewind your tapes if you would like, I did not say ass. For Vampiro does not describe it as ass. He says nass. Like he was gonna say, oh my gosh.
Nads?
Yes. He was gonna say, my mind is doing real good today. All right then. Like he was gonna say nads, and it was like, but ass? I don't know what's legal or what's not. Like what will get our head is disqualified. It was a very interesting, but it was a very interesting, very cool way to just kick someone straight in the taint. Mm-hmm. And it was, oh my gosh, and it was a mean fucking kick. You heard that one. The Temple Faithful heard that one. They loved it. We all loved it. Kick Jack Evans in the taint a little bit more.
My testicle!
Kick combo, standing Phoenix splash, only a 2 count as Arhennis kicks out from Jack Evans. Top rope Arhennis, or top rope, Jack Evans climbs. Arhennis knocks him off. Jack rolls through Arhennis' Irish whip, rolling reverse armbar. Real nicely done. Arhennis has to break on the rope. Jack cartwheel back elbows, goes for a second cartwheel back elbow, gets caught, German suplex. That becomes a theme of Jack Evans, and it's a theme of Jack Evans all the time. Him doing something, but then feeling himself a little too hotly, a little too motley, and then tries for it a second time after taunting a whole bunch and then getting caught. Arhennis tope swanton, which, by the way, beautiful tope. If that was the only high spot of this entire match, would have been fine. But they're on the outside. Jack tries to keep the action on the outside with a Tejaris off the apron, but is caught powerbomb style. Arhennis powerbombs Jack Evans onto the raised barricade and leaves his arms crucified about a foot off of the floor. This was fucking beautiful. The way he just sort of caught him, power bombs him, and then he's just kind of left dangling with his arms T-posing by his sides. Again, because the barricades are raised about a foot off the ground. And then to get him off of the barricade, he slaps him in the face. Picture the last time you go to Easter Mass and you're looking up at that Jesus and you just saw a guy slap Jesus in the face.
Please.
That shit was great.
And make out with him tongue style.
Well, that part doesn't happen in this match, but would be hot. Agreed.
If Jesus were in the ring, it'd be happening.
I don't know. Well, why? Now what? Now why?
Jesus spreads love, and I show love by tonguing people.
Well, all right then.
Ooh, wonder why Sean's never been tongued by me.
Oh. I've been negged. Arhennis does hit a one-winged angel from a Tejana bomb. Again, just Arhennis is doing some wild ass shit. Because I'm also including that power bomb crucifixion, not a crucifixion power bomb, a power bomb that ends in a crucifixion. Arhennis is awesome.
Have we gotten? Didn't one of them jump off from the barricade?
Not in this match.
Okay, well, the stuff was happening on the barricade, like being slammed up. That is the best seat in the house now. That corner, they come from the entranceway, right to the left, that corner area, if you are there, you are going to see people be smashed right by your feet.
No, it's real exciting. Also, there's something... I like being a little bit higher than the action. Sometimes it feels nicer. You can see more of what's going on.
Willie Nelson style.
Hey yo, the highest bidder, baby. A little bit of that Texas Roadshow antique style, if you know what I'm trying to say.
I don't.
Arhennis is shocked, by the way. Jack kicks out of that, again, Tejana bomb, one-winged angel, crazy move. But Arhennis is a little too shocked, gives Jack a little too much space to stand back up. He's like, what am I going to do? What am I going to do? He gives Jack Evans all this space to stand up, which he utilizes in a desperate backslide with a bridge for a Jack Evans win at 6 minutes and 8 seconds. Jack Evans, the man who invented Lucha Libre, now has a medallion.
Oh, as he should. The inventor of this style should at least have some gold to be appreciated with it.
Yes, appreciate your elders. The 27-year-old, 70-plus year veteran Jack Evans.
Hell yeah, dude. That's what we call a god here in the temple.
Okay, damn right. And what I call a locker room here in the temple is where we're going next. The Golden Warrior, Delavar Tavari, is always looking for some more gold, so Tavari and Big Rick have a trio title shot if they can find a third.
I love gold, he says.
I could see James just real revving up for something, and god damn it if that did not deliver. 10 out of 10, brilliant. I shouldn't be grading the podcast as we go, but I'll tell you right now, 10 out of 10.
It would be cool if you got on your phone right now and gave us a 5-star iTunes review, listener and Sean.
Mm-hmm. And just, I'm in the middle of recording this one.
I can fill in some time.
You know what? We'll get it in post. Rick suggests his cousin as their trio third, the Mac, who is already in full gear and standing behind them.
Uh-huh.
But Brian Cage is also in full gear and counters Mac's why not with why not Cage. Davari's a little unsure, asks Cage maybe to prove it. So he jumps Mac from the front.
Wait, hold on. No, he says, what makes you the best man for the job? And then Cage says this. It cuts to black. It sounds like a spotlight is cutting off. Then spotlight comes on. It's Cage, just straight up zoomed onto his face, only lit by a spotlight, and it zooms out to him in full butler dance show tune style, has a little cane top hat on, and then he starts doing show tunes, dancing a can, and it is the best thing you have ever seen. And then Davari's like, okay, yeah, that's the best thing I've ever seen, but that doesn't really make you the perfect man for this job. And then he does...
He kicks the shit out of Mac.
Hell yeah, with that cane.
He jumps him from the front, which is one of my favorite ways to kind of do something like that, where it's Mac is looking at him the whole time, eyes forward, but it's still it's a sucker punch, and then just a really interesting, they let Mac fight back. There is also, in addition to that lovely dance number, you're not far off from how cinematically this is shot. Mm-hmm. Which, again, is just one of the cool things about Lucha Underground.
Also, real quick, if I booked a wrestling show, what I just described would be part of it.
Yes, of course. Most of the wrestling show would be that dance scene from Young Frankenstein.
Uh-huh.
I feel like a good 90% of that budget is going to the Young Frankenstein dance scene. And then the other 10% is going to what can I only assume be hot dogs sold at the venue.
Oh no, it'd be vapes, and I'd be working non-union. It wouldn't take 90% of the budget, sir.
Oh, you know what? That's how I know you're ready to run a wrestling show.
Hell
you
yeah,
are
dude.
working non-union.
Yep, wrestling shows or the Power Rangers.
Hey, yep. Cage jumps Mac from the front, knocks down a locker with Mac's head, then body slams Mac onto the locker and gets himself a job. Big Rick obeys Davari's final order as he screams, "Leave him!" And we cut to another locker room.
Well, we just real quick, we see the referee from Metabots pop out of a locker that was locked. You heard it rattling the entire time, like someone was trying to pick the lock. And then right when he slams it down, he breaks free and he says, 3, 2, 1, winner, Cage.
One of my favorite parts about doing this show that we do, Sweaty Time Pro Wrestling, is that the notes you take, they entertain me so.
That's
and
not
they
a
also
note.
are written in a way,
That's improvised.
Okay, perfect. That also goes to my point. That you do them in a way that if you did not watch the show at all, I would have no way of knowing.
You should listen. There are episode summaries that I used to do on Mostly Speakin' Sentai that if you did not watch the show, you would think it was the most wild thing because I would make shit up just to make myself laugh.
But the Medabot thing is very true. That happened.
Yes.
Yeah. You guys don't have to watch this episode. We promise you.
And they got sued by that dude who actually owns the trademark to Metabots. And they were like, oh, this is Metarots, okay? This is not a reference to the English dub Metabots.
No. See, his mustache is just a little different. Not very different, but just a little. And just enough.
And his stripes, like a normal referee, don't go up and down. They go left to right. It makes him look more slimming.
And I don't have a transition or anything else to add. Another locker room. Black Lotus is at her locker when Chavo approaches. Chavo tells Lotus that he's talked to Dario, and Dario has agreed to let you compete. What about Matanza? All in good time, Chavo assures Lotus. And Lotus, not trusting Chavo, is a wise career choice, as Chavo tries to jump her from the front. But unlike Cage, Chavo is a liar, and has just lied directly to Lotus's face. Cage, as much as he jumps from the front and is a kind of a bully and kind of a bastard, he's not a liar.
She shoots from the hip, guys.
And that's why he gets the dance scenes, while Chavo gets blocked by Lotus using the locker door, and then she punches the shit out of him.
Lotus is dumping in duffel bags in this scene, guys. Figuratively, boy, oh boy, would I have paid to see it literally.
Okay. Chavo has to call on the crew for backup, who are also dumped by their duffel bags, figuratively. She kicks their asses, but they give Chavo enough breathing time to get back up, kendo stick from behind, and handcuff reveal as Lotus falls.
No.
I know, I'm sad too.
Lotus falling? What are we talking about? The mass exodus from psychopathic records, babe?
I knew that was going to be the reference. I did not expect the Dennis Miller babe at the end.
Guys, this is how Sean wakes up. This, me. You're getting the Nicole experience today. Of being exhausted, just waking up, like, hey, I love sleeping because of depression, and then seeing this maniac who's been awake for 5 hours has already completed everything on his to-do list and is like, hey, I made you breakfast and everything's ready. I'm super hungry, so please wake up.
Yeah, like every day is Christmas, where it's just that excitement of like everyone else needs to wake up so that I can admit that I've been awake for hours.
But it's just because I'm so starved because I did like 400 squats, 400 crunches, 400 ass workout, and 400 other ass workout, and a bunch of planks.
Hell yeah, so you gotta refuel. I learned that from the third member of the team of Delavar Davari, Big Rick, and they call him Cage, as they take on the Trio's Lucha Underground champions, the Odd Thruple, in our next match.
Oh man, has Superfly and Big Rick ever gone up in a match together?
Maybe in the darks. I don't think we've seen them in ring together.
There is a Vengaboys song called Superfly Slick Dick. I would love to remix that for showing like, oh, they're going up against each other. Superfly Big Rick. And it'd be just real good.
I mean, the fact that you can name a second Vengaboys song outside of the Six Flags theme makes me think we have to book that.
You don't even know the name of the Six Flags thing. It's called We Like to Party.
Yeah, and there's a reason I don't know the name. I don't care enough about the Vengaboys to learn the name of a Vengaboys song.
Uncle John from Jamaica, Venga Beat, etc. Sha-la-la-la-la. Opius in G major.
Sha-la-la-la-la is a Counting Crows lyric, and I know that.
No?
So don't you try and trick me.
It might be Sha-na-na.
Sha-na-na is a Andy Daly character, and I will not have you trick me. How dare you?
Brazil is the name of one song. Up Down is the name of another one.
Okay, there is so many Vengaboys songs.
24/7 9/11. This was released previous to 9/11?
James, I will give you a choice. You may list either 50 other Vengaboys songs, or you can talk about this match.
Oh, we're going to have to talk about the match because they only put out a couple records, so they do not have 50 songs.
Up top, Vampiro disagrees with the challenger's attitude, smoking and drinking before your match.
Oh, man. They're smoking cigars and sipping gravy thinner than my patience for bullies. I've been watching a lot of Ted Lasso again, guys. These bullies, they enrage me.
Grr, I've been enraged just by sitting next to you.
And I've been seeing this Pentagon Jr., but we'll get into it later. He's a bully.
Now, you confirmed, I don't know if we talked about this, that Evilise's injury is legitimate.
Yes, I researched this after our last episode. This is a for real injury, and unfortunately, in like a year or so, she's going to have another injury.
That sucked. So do you know so this injury is, it sounds like this injury is then not, how serious is this injury is the question I have in my notes that I meant to ask.
I don't know. It's like, you need to not be doing extraneous things for maybe like 3 months. I think it's like just it's not like she broke her leg in half.
And it goes back to kind of like how fucky this contract system is in that like she can't afford to take 3 months off because they probably won't. Like, I think they're treating this like a TV show in that they will take time off between seasons. Yeah. I don't know that for a fact, but do you know?
Probably. I don't know.
Probably.
I think out of everyone, I don't know why, but maybe it's because they liked our post. Like, Evilise, I think, is the one we should try to get on our show.
Yeah. Well, just because Evilise is fucking neat as hell.
Yeah. Like, I was tearing up when people were just chanting Evilise's name as she was walking down the stairs. I mean, hopping down the stairs on crutches.
Yeah. There was also a big carry her chant that break out, but are ignored as Eva wants to make her way on her own good leg.
I believe both of them in character were like, I think went to go do that. And they were like, well, no, our characters would not do that. We're not going to carry her.
Yeah. And then also, I think I might have talked about this. Bounty Hunter Brian Keith is a great independent wrestler out of Texas. Just a real old school kind of badass guy, but with a lot of new school athleticism thrown in there. Beautiful roundhouse kicks, brutal power bombs. If you get a chance to see Brian Keith in your neck of the woods, do it. He was fighting a GCW beloved Ratty Daddy Cole Radrick. And these two Ratty Daddies known for like these death matches, Brian Keith for this real hard-nosed Texas style. They're fighting at the Emporium Barcade out here in Chicago. And multiple times throughout the match, kiss chants are broken out. Now, no one here is a fan of Gene Simmons because fuck that guy. No, they just wanted to see these two men kiss.
Yes.
And they're kind of like looking at each other. They're like, well, this guy wants my belt. Brian Keith is the freelance legacy champion. We kind of need to fight first. But after the match, there is it's that beautiful moment. I remember my acting teacher told me, any character is capable of doing anything. Mm-hmm. If something doesn't feel right for the narrative, you can argue that. But the kind of the cliche of my character wouldn't do that doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
As showcased by Brian Keith planting a big old smooch on Cole Radrick after the bell, after successfully defending his championship. And I'm like, yeah, which like it makes sense. Like, maybe not right now. Not in the context of what's happening now, before the match. I'm not going to carry this. I'm not going to carry her. But maybe afterwards, Brian Keith will lay a big old smooch on Ratty Daddy, and we'll all be better for it.
I love how in wrestling, when you say like, oh, it's like he's an old school athletic man, but with new school style. I love that when you hear that in wrestling, it works. It makes sense. Mm-hmm. But in my field, hip hop, if someone were to say that about someone, it would just be like, oh yeah, they're doing multisyllabic rhyme schemes over trap beats, but it's still like, yeah, and I'm here to say, yeah.
That actually sounds amazing.
I mean, I will have to do that as a parody and then
we can get Dougie Fresh over some trap beats, that's all I want out of music.
Yeah, we'll do something of that sort. And oh man, I can't believe hip hop ever got popular when you listen back to some of that cornball shit. I enjoy that stuff, but it is insane that people are like, this is hardcore. This is the new shit.
It's just a lot of people who find going to someone's house for dinner and having bad macaroni and cheese extremely relatable.
Is that from something?
I think, isn't that have you ever, Rapper's Delight, have you ever gone to somebody's house and the food was just no good?
Okay.
I don't know if that's actually real or a Paul F. Tompkins character.
It could be that, yeah.
Anyway.
Kale Solomon.
Yeah, shouts out to Kale. He's a real one. I really enjoy Angelico and Cage's timing together. Mm-hmm. They open up this match. They have a great chemistry together.
And Angelico really is a specialist when it's like, hey, do you need someone to just get shit kicked out of them for 10 minutes? Okay, throw him in there.
Yeah, but also, like, still gets his shit in.
Yeah.
Like, in that opening exchange, he's still, like, landing his kicks. He's making, and it's weird. I want to give all the credit to Cage as well, because Cage is an amazing bass and is very... Every time I watch Cage, he works so well with people. He works so well, not just getting his own shit in, which is ironic because one of his nicknames is Mr. Get My Shit In, but it also looks so well to like make someone else look strong.
Yeah, I should have said, instead of getting the kicked shit out of him, I should have said, if you want a wrestler who is believable at fighting an uphill battle that's at like an 80-degree incline, throw him in the ring.
That makes absolutely 80-degree incline uphill, keeping it competitive, keeping it like clearly the underdog, but there is still competition on both sides.
Yeah.
That's perfect. And Angelico's strike, which is his bread and butter right now, those give him an advantage with a flying knee. He runs the ropes. Son of Havoc makes a blind tag, a good blind tag, strategically a very smart one. And Angelico's on the run. He can finish his move before the ref counts the 5. And Son of Havoc can come in and do another move. There is precedence for intelligent blind tags like this. And Angelico never learned this, and instead of finishing his move, stops and bitches out Havoc. And it's like, when are these guys gonna get on the same page?
These odd thruple just become a god thruple.
But you were not yet, because instead, for now, Cage is gonna double clothesline the shit out of him.
How about a mod thruple? A mod thruple, like
they drive around on little scooters and they listen to The Who?
Exactly.
Okay, dude, hell yeah. Quadrophenia is an awesome movie and also a great album.
Or a sod thruple. They're just fucking in grass.
Hell yeah.
Or laying down grass, they become landscapers. Who knows?
I don't know. The only thing I know is that Daivari gets the tag, and Son of Havoc is still fucking cartwheeling on the top rope, which is insane. It's just like gonna rip out a cartwheel not off the top rope, on the top rope. The cartwheel begins and ends on the top rope.
Real quick, a cod thruple is, three people doing trios in Call of Duty.
And they're all wearing a decorative cup.
Yeah.
Elusive offense keeps him competitive as Angelico makes a blind tag of his own on Son of Havoc, and the lack of teamwork shows itself again. So badly so that Ivelisse gets out of the corner, takes a seat in the front row, and spends a lot of time talking shit. Most of the match, Ivelisse can be found in the front row just talking shit.
Oh, yeah.
Which, you know what? That's true. She has a good point.
I gotta find like 2 people to co-host a show, and it's just an everyday social events, current event stuff, and we call it the Pod Thruple.
Nice. Okay.
That's my last thruple pun.
Cool, because I'm going to start approaching the end.
Okay, good.
Big Rick passes a stalling suplex onto Cage. Fucking Angelico is dying. By the time these 2 big men can just like hand your body to another one and just finish a suplex, a long suplex, you are dying. You are in trouble. Angelico's, he's throwing desperate strikes. blocks a cage rolling elbow with a spinning knee, but Big Rick pops Son of Havoc out from away from the hot tag. By this time, Ivelisse is back in the corner, and it might be too late. Daivari's got her by her face, and he's screaming things. When Tejano comes out of nowhere to distract Daivari to his doom.
Woo.
Son of Havoc shooting star press for the 3 at 7 minutes and 39 seconds.
Okay, I knew based on, hey, these 3 individuals, it's also all of a sudden thrown together for the championship. I knew something or someone had to occur in this match to make sure that they win, and I'm glad it's Tejano. I love Tejano. Him and Mill are up there. I love him.
Yeah, Tejano looks great. I need to find more of his stuff. Yeah, because he's great and he's brutal, and he kicks the shit out of Alberto, and I like that too.
Sean, how would you feel if I learned Spanish and then I surprised you with a Mexican wrestler on our show, but they don't speak English, so it's just them and I talking the entire time?
I mean, here's the thing. Would I feel maybe a little left out and taken like a little bit like you sort of surprised me with that one? Sure. But I kind of just think that's actually a really cool idea and would happily take that back seat. Hell yeah. That's actually a really cool idea.
I think for the hour interview, you would mainly be thinking, when the fuck did James learn? Has he always known Spanish? Is that how he's watching the Santo movies? I don't know.
I would have to assume it's I guess James always knew Spanish and it never came up, because it would be wild for you to take the time to learn a new language just for the sake of this bit.
I almost did that for if this movie's gay had continued but the pandemic stopped it. I was going to learn French, so one day I would just speak in French on the podcast because I said, "Oh yeah, I know French," and there was a beat, and Corin was like, "No, you don't," and I was like, "You don't know."
I just like Corwin slowly. You can see the beautiful mind mathematic equations going, wait a minute, you don't know French.
But it's that at 2 times speed.
Okay. And at regular speed, we cut to Dario's office as Chavo delivers a bound and gagged Black Lotus to Dario himself. Cueto has a spot for this new delivery right across from his brother.
Ooh, bound and gagged? Well, I'm bound to be gagged. Gimme some BDSM.
Oh, I thought you were going to say, gimme some Tubi.
What?
Gimme some Tubi.
Is that their slogan?
Yeah, that's their new ad campaign. You're bound and you're gagged in a chair in front of a screen that has Tubi on.
Well, I'm bound to be gagged.
Yeah, bound to be gagged. That's what they call it.
Okay. All right. I enjoy it. Man, Tubi's the greatest, guys.
Yeah. Netflix has that whole Netflix and chill. Tubi has Tubi and light BDSM.
Yes.
Let's go. And let's go to this main event, Pentagon Jr. versus Sexy Star in the submission match.
Okay. I need to tell a quick story. It's related to this match.
Okay. And I'm going to give a quick...
Yes, go for it.
Okay, just a quick backstory of why this match came to be. This is a pretty long feud that they're starting to blow off. Pentagon Jr. has been sacrificing arm bars, which is basically just breaking someone's arm after the match, dedicating that to his master. When he tried that on Sexy Star's friend Superfly after their mask versus mask match, Sexy Star interjects, tries to save Superfly, gets there a little too late, and ever since interjecting her business into his affairs, Pentagon has had it out for her, and she, of course, wishes to avenge her friend.
Hell yeah. Okay. So my previous job in this customer service industry, I actively demoted myself twice. The first time I demoted myself, I was an assistant manager, and I was like, this sucks. Either I quit or I need to go back down to just being a supervisor. Supervisor is so fun. The pay cut was not significant at all. Don't go salary, guys. It blows. So my team was shuffled to another person. And my team, they were the ragtag groups, but also I was like, as long as you're doing work and you aren't being like, oh, I'm just straight up not doing anything, I don't care. Just do it. That's fine. I don't want you to be like me, who was getting like extreme performance bonuses when I was just a normal agent because I was doing like 100 emails an hour. Like I was just blazing through shit. I just sat down, worked, and left. That's what I did.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So I didn't care. But when that team was put onto, you're like, how does this relate? When that team was put onto another manager, I was oblivious to anything like office romances, people not liking each other, people liking each other too much, anything. Well, a friend
what
of
is
mine.
People liking each other too much? And how is that different from office romances?
Maybe one of them doesn't like the other, things like that.
Oh, office one-sided romances.
So
were you staffed on One Tree Hill?
No, I was not. I wish. Would have been getting those residues, baby.
Hell yeah. Plus you get to meet, I forget, Chad Michael Murray.
Yeah, could be.
That guy's sexy.
This new manager who took over my team, there was like an in quotes problem agent, and I was
Sounds
informed.
like Chad Michael Murray on One Tree Hill. He was a real problem agent for all those characters in that small town.
So
and he sure shook things up. I'm going to stop talking about One Tree Hill now.
A friend of mine told me, like, would fill me in after we both left the company of the weird shit that happened. And this manager, both women, was trying to, in a way, break this agent in a way that you would, I guess, like train a dog. And just this person was resistant to anything, was like, hey, I don't give a shit about this job. I'm here to do the minimal amount of effort and sign out, because they worked from home. And the agent sent my friend, who is also an agent, a screenshot of like them going back and forth, the manager and this problem agent was like, hey, like, you need to work, you need to do this, that. And then finally said, just in a message said, why won't you submit to me?
Oh.
And that's what Pentagon is saying to Sexy Star.
Okay, two things. I forgot you had promised that this would relate.
And it
Totally
does.
forgot that was going to come back around. Well done. Second, you can't.
No.
Like, you can't say that. Okay, I just want to confirm, as someone who has not worked in, it's been a very long time since I worked in like an office with Jim and Pam and Dwight and the crew. What? Ooh, I don't
Why
feel
won't you
comfortable.
submit to me?
In this storyline, which has featured Pentagon Jr., attack like being a predator practically. Specifically to Melissa Santos, the ring announcer, who's awesome, by the way. If we don't shout out her enough, Melissa Santos ring announcing is so fucking good in this series. I feel better about that than I do about the story of that email.
Yeah.
It's sad. Why won't you submit to me?
Baffling how HR was not informed of that.
Yeah. I'm gonna need a second.
The temple loves Pentagon, but the women in the temple love Sexy Star.
It's hard. I don't think it helps that there was a commercial break in between the entrances and like when they came back and like, you know, the match starting, because I'm pretty sure Pentagon did his Cero Miedo chant. And so we come back from commercial and there is a very loud Cero Miedo chant, which again translates to no fear, is a beautiful message coming from a rat fucking bastard.
Zero fear. Why won't you submit to me?
Penta takes a microphone to promise Sexy he will break her for his master. For my name is... And Sexy cuts him off. Ring the dang bell. The match has started. Penta is on offense early. Signature knife-edge chop on the ropes. Catch flack from Vampiro. Probably because, you know, it's a strike to the titties. Striker points out the equal opportunity violent tenet of the temple. Sexy sits out on the first sacrifice armbar attempt, grabs a few driving knees to press a guillotine sleeper against one of those knees, and a few gator rolls, Penta is out, catching a wrist breaker into another sacrifice attempt, but instead is met with Sexy's to Harris, to the outside, suicida dive.
Hey, Sean.
A lot of catch wrestling in this opening. Yeah.
Cero miedo, ¿por qué no te sometes a mí?
No fear. Why?
Won't you submit to me?
Okay. All right. Never.
I'm going to make you submit to me one day.
You probably won't.
Oh, I will.
All right.
I'll make you submit just with my cum gutters.
This podcast needs an HR.
You know how people will
Sexy
crush a
brawls.
melon with their thighs? I'll crush that
Sure.
melon with my gutters.
Okay. I would like to talk about wrestling now.
Okay, get up with the match already. I said Cero miedo. Hold on. Did I already close out of the window? I might have. Never mind.
Sexy brawls with Penta around the ring, throws him back into the ring. Big dueling chance. It's like, goddamn, Penta's evil. As evil a bastard as they come, but like he's really cool. Penta, oh my gosh. It's so nice seeing Penta also now as a babyface with his brother on AEW. He's effortlessly cool. It's just, Penta's great. I'm sorry he's, sacrificing arms and shitting on all these workers who do not have health insurance. But he's really cool.
And I really like the dueling commentary during this match because Stryker's like, yeah, man, Sexy Star's in for it because, she doesn't come from a submission holds world. But, that's all Pentagon's been doing for the last few months. And Vampiro says breaking arms isn't a submission. That's going too far. So Vampiro being the level-headed one, I love. Except...
Yeah.
When Vampiro goes, when in doubt, go for a choke. That's what you should do. Just go for a choke. That's a submission hold. That'll work.
I mean, that's true, though, too. As long as you're not, strangling them but with your hands, old school style.
Michael Myers style.
Pretty much. Yeah, dude, chokes kick ass. They're very effective. And Sexy kind of starts to get one. She gets the step over toe hold of the STF, but she can't lock in the face hold of the F of the STF. She only gets the ST in. So Penta is able to swipe her arm out from under her to break the hold. And then it's something we don't see from Penta a lot. Something I'm a big fan of in wrestling, I think I've said it before in this podcast, is complicated pins and complicated catch wrestling submission style. That I hold on, I get one body part and I just move, I position and I move myself around to get either a pinfall or a submission, but just through a lot of really fancy footwork. And Penta has so much of that. It's actually kind of crazy. After he swipes his way out of her toe hold, Penta gets a toe hold as well, mid-air in a tombstone pile drive position, then transitions into a power slam. But Sexy counters that into a Fujiwara armbar attempt. And this is kind of what you were talking about before. Matt Stryker was pointing out that she can't quite get the leverage to hyperextend the arm. She can't really, she's getting into these positions just like with the STF, but she can't get that final. She can't cross that final finish line to either hyperextend or to lock up the joint into a submission that would force Penta to either hit the ropes or to tap.
We've made this joke before. Pentagon, it's just 5 Gons from Tekken 3 in a trench coat.
If we haven't, we must have.
I'm
we
positive.
haven't, we must have.
We've talked about Gon before, and it had to have been because of Pentagon.
You can tell because every now and again his little crotch flap opens up and there's a little brown cloud that pops out. Yeah. Shouts out to God. Sexy throws 2 leg strikes, but catches a super kick from Penta. Takes out another toe. Penta takes another toe hold, stands up behind her with it, drops down with a grapevine around the legs. Sexy, close up on Sexy going, Jesus Christ, as she has to grab the ropes to break the hold. Sexy rolls out, lures Penta to follow her on the outside as well, and big crossbody off the barricade. With right above Melissa Santos, who's also kind of cheering her on, starting to smash the side of the cage, which makes sense because again, Pentagon Jr., basic was real sketchy to the beloved Melissa Santos.
And you can hear Penta after, every time Sexy's grabbing that rope, getting out of these arm bars, it's just screaming, "Por qué no te sometas a mí?"
You pulled it back up, didn't you?
Yes. I just had to right click and say, reopen, close tab.
Well done. Sexy has to reopen and close Penta back into the ring as she rolls him in. Spinebuster into a single leg Boston Crab, which might get a submission. She should, kind of have to lean back on it. It's not really, like the single leg Boston Crab is not really a leg submission. It's more of a lower back submission. But that's not important. What is important is the return of Superfly.
Superfly Big Rick.
No, just Superfly. We already saw Big Rick.
Slick. Actually, he now is a slick dick. We're about to find out.
Disc because he does not have a mask. He just has a little black and white over his right eye. Black and white paint over the right eye. And the crowd see it a mile away. Sexy's just happy to see her friend. So she's got Penta in this single leg Boston Crab. And then she's like, "Oh shit, Superfly, how have you been? Oh my gosh, it is so good to see you." Slaps the shit out of his own friend. Slaps the shit out of his own friend. This Superfly is a no good Nick. He punches her, he slaps her down, beats her into Penta's pile driver, which he delivers. Then transitions into a surfboard stretch with the chinlock modification a la Bryan Danielson. Secures the victory, Pentagon Jr. at 9 minutes and 35 seconds as Sexy Star taps out.
She submitted. Don't worry, guys. She submitted.
After the match, Penta is not just looking for the submission, though. Now that he knows she will submit to him, he wants her to sacrifice for him. He's got her in that arm-breaking position, but Vampiro has had enough. That's right. Not only is he doing double duty on English and Spanish commentary, not only is he running around redubbing both sections of his segments in Spanish and English. Again, I found that out, and I thought that was the coolest thing in the world. He's also standing up for women and Sexy Star and the boys in the back who do not have health insurance.
He's dumbfounded looking. He's like, "Ella se sometió."
Which is...
She submitted. What are you doing? I might have said most of that incorrectly.
Vampiro rushes the ring, pushes Penta off Sexy, who takes the opportunity to roll out, and stands off with Pentagon. But Pentagon doesn't back down. There's a moment they're face to face, eye to eye, fists clenched, big Arthur energy. But ultimately, Vampiro is the one to back down first. As he shakes his head, rolls out of the ring, goes to the back, Penta left alone to celebrate his victory.
Sean,
yes.
When Vampiro whipped off his headphones and got in the ring, I started crying. I started tearing up.
I had a feeling this is a very cool Vampiro moment, and I figured that would be a great way to end the episode. But there is more. In the locker room bathroom, or in the backstage bathroom, Vampiro is confronted by himself in the mirror. His own words, lowering in pitch as it goes on. He's hurting people, costing families money. There's no line he won't cross. I know what's going through his mind, and it's not good. I gotta go to therapy. I got demons. I did bad things to good people. I went to bad places. Something dark is coming. And on that, Vampiro headbutts the mirror until it cracks and looks into his own reflection again through the broken glass. Fucking Vampiro is cool again.
And all those lines came from Warrior of the Night.
James, god damn it. Good episode, yeah?
Yeah, baby.
Great episode. And this is the part of the episode where we remind you that we are out there in the world, and you can find us at places like twitch.tv/Goose Von Kaiser, or the lovely, lovely plugs that James will throw at you now. James, throw them plugs at these salty bitches.
Hey guys, listen to my music under Marshland Monster, available wherever music is found. Howard Kramer, aka Dragon Boy Suede, and I are working on an album. We're collecting all these singles, and once we get like 10 or 11, it will be put out on an album. Physical media? Probably not. But updated mixes, so it's all coherent and sounding cool together? Absolutely. Maybe some remixes, new beats, Gene Material. I did a remix of that. Why not throw that on there? All the beats will be included as well. It's gonna be a good time. But we have a new one coming out the first Friday of July, like July 7th or something. So check that out, Ill-Fated Brigade. And head over to mlmpod.com to find out information about my other podcasts, such as Formulaic, a podcast in script writing, which, R2 Shelby 2 and I might be working on some tunes, aka I am writing stuff for her to sing, and then we're going to be putting shit out, guys.
If R2 Shelby 2 was Howard Kramer, legally you have to tell me that now.
No.
Okay.
No, I mean, legally,
So
I
you're
don't
saying
have to tell you.
Okay, shit.
Yeah, okay, so, oh man, then head over to patreon.com/MLMpod, where for $5 a month you get exclusive content every single Friday. Good times to be had over there. A very funny episode of Death from Above with Jose from Hit It and Crit It is coming out Friday. Go check it out. And if you're a $10 patron, you get monthly exclusive content in the form of straight to Patreon and shout outs on every single free feed podcast. So let's begin with those, starting with Steve F.
Why won't you submit to me?
Eric Berry of Ranger Command Power Hour.
Why won't you submit to me?
Alex Z. The Waz.
Why won't you submit to me?
Orion, aka Defo, formerly his producer name. You'll find out.
Why won't you submit to me? I know the hyphen bit's not in there anymore, but in my heart it is.
Jordan B. The Chaos Witch.
Why won't you submit to me?
My Bickle brother in common law, Joshua Jakis.
Why won't you submit to me?
Steve Barnes of Sweet Child of Time.
Why won't you submit to me?
My mother.
Mothers never have to submit.
Lil Corey's BFF Shane.
Why won't you submit to me?
Oh, mommies do submit, okay?
Unless they want to. That's what I said.
That fed.
Why won't you submit to me?
Twitch.tv/Core Winning. It's Corwin.
Why won't you submit to me?
And the aforementioned R2 Shelby 2 on Twitch, on Spotify. No, not Spot. Soon to be Spotify. It's R2 Shelby 2 of the Rom Complex and Formulaic.
Why won't you submit to me?
All right, see you guys.
Bye. You did not. I feel like you did not like that my tags on that one.
Oh no, I just forgot we do and we've been Sweaty Time Pro Wrestling. Bye.
Yeah, any sort of sign off other than all right, see ya.
Bye.
Just real exasperated.
I've submitted to the length of this podcast. Okay.
We have submitted.
Bye. Oh,